So let's start it. So as my headlines says, how to make your CPU intelligent or your computer intelligent. So what do I mean by saying that? So actually it means that when you say a computer intelligent or that so means it will be able to take decisions on its own. Means if you give data to a computer and if you ask for results like query search results, they will say, but if you ask, seeing my previous data, tell me what's going to happen in my future. So that ability you can say as humans, somewhat they have by looking at the pattern or anything they will know. So if that we will be able to give that to computer or your CPU, so that will be great. Like decisions they will make own. Bad thing about computers, they're very dumb. Means what we will give, they will answer those, and to make them intelligent, we are doing so. So I will be doing this demo in Google Colab. Let me say you about Google Colab. Google Colab is like a free Jupyter environment type. You can say it. A Jupyter environment is a editor where you will able to run any programs or anything. So Google Colab is that thing which completely runs on cloud. Means Jupyter Notebook is your own system environment, but Google Colab is on everything on cloud. So we will be doing it on Google Colab. So if you go and search there, Google Colab, yeah, first one you click there, the first screen will visit the home page will be somewhat looking here like this. So if you want to put your file in through your Google Drive, you have to select here, or actually I have my IPNYB file. I will upload that here. That's actually this one. So it's uploading. You can see it here. So after that, you will see somewhat like this. Means these are the things I wrote it on my IPNYB file in my Jupyter environment. So now we will do the things, and this entirely I wrote it. So you can easily understand from this how to make predict decisions on their own. The computers will predict. So there what comes the role of machine learning, so that we will able to give the machine how to learn itself, right? So first thing you have to do is the code, and here you have to connect, so that they will give you some RAM or GPU or anything they have. So for click to connect, they're allocating, connecting, initializing, connected. You will see connect. Yeah, you see RAM they have given, some disk space they have given. If we see here, they gave us 0.76 RAM, and because they will identify themselves and do that. And the one fun thing of Google Colab is one the view of this. So if you click your settings and your go to miscellaneous and you click to kitty mode or corgi mode, you will see some funny characters will come. You can see here, it's very funny. This is this is the thing. So now let us start. I'm taking an array. Firstly, I'm taking it as list. So if we have a number, say x equal to this much numbers, 10 numbers I'm taking, and y equals to this much numbers, so that we will feed the historical data in it, so that it will learn from historical data, and in future it will help in it's predicting the thing or saying it itself. That's where we are giving intelligence to computer or the CPU. So what happens is, as a list suppose only row wise operations, no column wise operations. So and our model should be means we are using machine learning and data analytics, always supports row column wise operations. So you are going to convert it to array, numpy array, so that it will array will support both row wise and column wise operations. So to run a cell in Google Colab, it is same as the Jupyter Notebook. That is shift enter, it will run. Yeah, it has run. So now also shift enter, it has run successfully. So as I told you, we have to convert it to a NumPy array. So we have imported the NumPy module here, and in the NumPy module we have a function called array. So that will give the list here. It will convert to array. So x1, y1 are the respective arrays. So if we as we are going this in a continuous manner, you can see it here. We are actually it will internally follow some methods of linear regression. It is a model type of machine learning. So if from to to give the mind means how they will understand that this is the thing and that we have to do. So all these things this function will give linear regression function. The linear regression function will tell what is the correlation, means what is the relation or the pattern you see, like you see 1 10 2 20 3 30, like that 10 100, what is the pattern of relation between them, so that computer will be able to predict in future. So this function will tell us everything. Okay, so this function is present in sklearn module and in linear model submodel. So if I run it, it is running. Yeah, it has run. So now we will give let's say the variable to this, and say as I told you that's a main function to give the mind, or it will say the what is the relation between here. We will say store it in a variable called mind, anything you can give. I completed here, and now we have to fit in the data, these two datas, the we converted, so that it will treat it as historical data and it will start learning. So for that, mind.fit y1 and x1, always see fit function is always supporting as y1 means first parameter should be always your which variable you want to predict. So if you want to predict this one, means say say x is the name of semester and y is the number of marks you got. So if you want to see how much if you want to see how much if you click you want us if you want 420 marks, so let us say this as a data, or we want to predict in a dash semester we want to predict how much marks we will get. So there your role will come here. So mind.fit y1 and x1. So here I'm gonna predict y1 means marks, and I'm inputting x1. So if I run this, they will say some errors. They say error is this. Yeah, you will see a error like array reshape 1 minus 1. So every time they support the 2D array, while fitting here we have to give 2D arrays. So means the predictor you want to predict the field, it has to be in 2D array because it has some reasons in multilinear regression. So we have to convert it first. If you type y1 is it is array also. So now what you have to do is our array we have to reshape it to -1 and 1, so that it will be converted to 2D. So you will see now 2D, and if now we will fit it, if shift enter, you can see here some linear regression function is going on. It is now fitting the data. We have given you 10 data from here, 10 data from here. So it will see that from here. You can see it is success, fit intercept true, and linear regression function is gonna train it. Here is the process of training the model. Now it's the time for prediction of model. Now that we will see the main intelligence, what computer has acquired or not. So if there is a function for predict, to predicting your output, means if you have means you want to predict, as I've taken the second one as the part to be predicted. So I will predict here second one. Okay, if I hit enter, shift enter, okay, you will again see that the problem of 2D array, because here also you have to give 2D arrays while prediction. So what you have to do is now give double square bracket so that it will support 2D array, and if I click hit enter, see it is giving 69. why it is giving 69. So if you see the pattern, they've understood the pattern that for 1 it is 10, 2 is a 23, 30, 9, 90, 10, 10, 100. So linear regression function gave them the correlation, that is y equal to px. From the relation they found out p. So what is the difference here? Means p can be here 10. So what they did is, while predicting here y equal to px, y 690 we have given here. So they know the p, that is 10. So what is x? X equal to y by p. 690 by 10, that is equal to 69. Okay, so they are giving 69. You can see here, if I click here around 500, what it will give? 50. It's great, right? It is taking its decision on, because 500 we have not fed it into the data. Now if you predict 60, then what is the problem? Means what is the value? Because we have already given the data, and we are asking them. It will be, means, dumb, right? What you have not given when we are predicting it, that will be said as intelligence. So okay, yeah. And if you want to see that p value, we have function called coefficient, coef underscore. It is showing that 0.1. Okay, which is actually it is internally implemented as 10. So coefficient, yeah, you can see it. So this is the coefficient or key found out with the help of linear regression using the historical data. So this was the demo. You have make the CPU or your computer intelligent to. So if you like this video, share, comment, subscribe, and put down your comments what issue are you facing in Google Colab. I will give this file to you. All right. Thank you for watching.